Get your kids in the bed. Hello, everybody. Your show about to come on. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's get it. Drop the beat. It don't matter. No, don't. Let's speak. Ooh, y'all sound good. Ooh, you don't grab that drink. It's the what? It's so cute. This one you twerk. Hey, I see you over there twerking. I see you over there twerking. Hey, shake it. Don't stop it, girl. Shake it.
What's up, y'all? I'm coming to you live from the office. It is Tuesday. Welcome to the Butch and Queen podcast show where we dispel your thoughts while thickening the plot. As you can see, I'm by myself. Somebody is running late. I had another person over here, but she is upset about Tory Lanez, and I can't put her on the show. Not under them conditions. She wouldn't be able to function. We will be talking about that young man all day. And I don't know if you heard, if you heard, he got a sentence, and I think it's just too much. And I just don't like the decision that they made. I really don't. I don't feel like he got justice as far as, the sentence that he got. But it is Tuesday, and I'm just happy to be here. I've been having a really good week, and I know y'all missing Crystal because she's a little bit more spunkier than I am. I give you that cool suave type feel. You feel me? But I'm just over here. We about to go on with the show. She gonna join us. When she get in, she gonna be on over here. No, wait a minute, it's this way. She gonna be over here. So when she come in, but we're going to get it started. So first we're going to go to the business shout out. So we want to thank y'all for, all the businesses that we know, all our friends. What's up, Jamie? We have we got Angel Kennel. I haven't showed y'all my dog, but we want to give a shout out to Theology. This is why I don't, because I'm not a pronunciation person. But they are hiring. I know y'all heard Crystal talking about it last week. You must have a clean MVR, must be willing to travel over the road, overnight deliveries, and you see that pay weekly is $600 to $1,000. So, that's something that you might want to get into and hit them up. They got an Instagram page. I know that. And I know they're on Facebook. Really good company doing things out here. I just want to shout out some other businesses. Erica Macy, the Macy Method. Want to shout that out. Tiffany, want to shout that out. Just all the black businesses that's out there, and just businesses, period. It doesn't have to be black. All the small businesses that's out there in the world, we just want to shout them out and, let's support them because small businesses make the world go round. And that's on period, poo, period. But we're going to get into this first story. And let me push play on this.
I have a son. I don't want my son to be gay. That's not what I would want for him as his dad. I would want my son to grow up and have a wife, have kids. Hopefully he has another son, keeps on passing down that brown legacy. Like that's just raw. That's real. If my kids decide to go and make a life choice, like I'm going to love my kids regardless. Like, those are my kids.
Exactly.
They're my flesh, my blood. Like, it ain't gonna be nothing. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh,
what if your son got a boyfriend and then that boyfriend beat your son up? And
we gonna fuck that nigga up.
Then what if he beat you up too?
No, bro. Then my daddy better step in.
What if we all
Okay, so we're just gonna get started on this. So I saw this question being asked. The first question I saw that was going viral was, what would you rather, a gay son or a thought daughter? Now, most people, if you have any type of, I feel like, intelligence, um, they will pick a gay son. But it was some masculine men, of course, that were trying to, because I feel like you're trying to portray masculine. Because if you're truly masculine and firm in your belief, you would not have no fear or of a gay man. But some of them were picking that they rather their son. I mean, they have a thought daughter than a gay son, and I feel like that is crazy. I don't know how everybody feel out there because I feel like it's a bad thing just to sit and how does that make you feel to even your son? Because he was saying at first he was like, I'd rather my son not be gay, but why? What is your reason? And a lot of people try to say, oh, it's because of the things that they go through. First of all, they're going to go through things anyway because of the black man. But a lot of things that gay men go through is because of you and the thought process that you have as a person. Like, why is your thought process even like that? Like, why are you thinking that because of a person is um like a gay person, that gay man, that is just such a bad thing? I feel like the only reason why being a gay male is seen as bad is because of the process of the thought process that you have. How do you guys feel about that? About the gay man? I think it's just ignorant. I feel like we as a people, and even as a masculine man, I feel like there should be a different um process as far as when we teach boys how to be men, because you shouldn't be you shouldn't feel any type of way, even just like the young man that killed the gay boy because he was dancing outside. Why is it even to that point? What is your thought process? Like, what about him made you feel so inferior about yourself that made you so angry that you wanted to kill him? It should never lead to that. I just feel like it should never lead to that. It should never be that. So I don't understand that. I don't even get why it like it went down that way. So I'm gonna go on to the next story because I just think it's crazy, but that's something that I kind of want to start off with and just get into people's mind about thinking about that, because you should never judge anyone or feel like inferior for as look at some your child is inferior because of the sexual what they pick, like they chose that. It's something that I feel like sexuality is not chosen, is because basically that's what you learn along the way. This is what I like. People don't know what they love until they experience it, until they get into that situation. So for you to condemn or make some or say that, oh my, I don't want to have that, you can't say that. Okay. James said, I wish they would take away the mics from the men on podcasts. All the subjects in the world want to talk about being gay, who is gay, and is getting obsessed. It does. It gets very much so obsessed because it doesn't even make sense when it's said. Like it is obsession, because it's like you're saying, "Oh, I don't like it," but you're constantly talking about it, constantly bringing down on it. When usually when something doesn't bother you or something, but I feel like it's an unknown subject, and that's why they talk about it so much. I think it's an unknown topic. They don't understand. And in some ways, some people are curious. Some people are not, and some people are curious, and that's why they talk about it like that. That's my feelings. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I feel like that's why people do what they do, because they are curious about it. But anyway, I'm gonna get into this next topic right here.
Damian Pickett, black male, and a 16-year-old white male juvenile who was struck by the owners and operators of the private. The suspects thus far have been identified as Richard Roberts, white male, 48 years old, with 2 outstanding warrants for assault, 3rd degree. Alan Todd, white male, 23 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. And Zachary Shipman, white male, 25 years old, 1 warrant for assault, 3rd degree. We have instructed those individuals to turn themselves into law enforcement, and as at this time, 1 is secured and in custody. The other 2 are set to turn themselves in within the next hour. We are also asking for Mr. Reggie Gray, the black male, 42 years old, who was seen wielding that folding chair, to contact the Montgomery. The victims in this case, the co-captain, Mr. Damian Pickett, black male, and a 16-year-old.
All right, so I don't know if everybody, what's up, D Scorpio? Thank you for joining in. I don't know if everybody know about what happened on, I believe it was Saturday. Okay, I'm gonna give you a story. Alabama been making some news. First it was Carlisa and the kidnapping. Now they got this Montgomery brawl. So let me tell y'all, cause I'm just, this right here, baby. When I saw this, they did what needed to be done on the 5th of August, baby. So what the story is, there was a young man. He was an older man. He was working, and it was a boat that was there. He told the boat that, the people, like, you need to move your boat. There's a riverboat that's coming, and this is where they were parked is where the riverboat usually dock, because that particular part is where this boat docks, and it's like a public boat that people pay to get on. So he told them basically 3 times. Okay, so around the 3rd time, as you if you watch the video, you can see that they're talking together. I can't show the video because they've been blocking people and cutting people off. But he begins to tell the guy, what happened. The young man swings at him. Once he swings at him, the black man sends up a signal and throws his hat up in the air like this. Okay? Soon as he throw the hat up in the air, they begin to jump this man, an older man now. They 20-some years old. This man's an older man. They jump him, and he's just doing his job. He didn't come out of nowhere and try to bother anybody. He is doing his job. I want to sit here on today. Crystal's not here with me, so I can kind of talk how I want to. I want to sit here on today, and I just want to give thanks to the people who came, the people of Alabama, the ones who said, if you think about Alabama was a place with Selma where they began to walk together. And that is what we need to learn how to do. Even though it was a fight, it was an argument or whatever, but it was the fact that they saw something being done wrong and they came together. Nobody was looking, and there was the stress. Nobody was like, what should we do? Nobody was questioning, because we do have those. We have, oh my goodness, it was no, you are jumping this man, we about to jump you. It was crazy. It was a beautiful sight. I had to say, some people are mad because they're like, oh no, when something's wrong is being done, it needs to be justified. And what really got me in joy is when I saw that young man swimming across the water. Baby, y'all know I've been taking swimming lessons, okay? So I had stopped for a little while. Now I got to go back, get my swimming lessons, because if somebody else needs my help, I need to be able to jump in the water and swim across the water like that young man did on that day and throw a couple, you know what I'm saying? Go in there and throw a little something and get it going. You hear me? Because that right there, that was amazing. I just feel like if we can do that in other areas of our lives, like with supporting businesses, supporting people far as when, like, a wrong thing in the case or something like that, if we can come together like that. Because one thing about we do not, I don't know what it is. That's something that I really would love to talk about. How we are not able to come together. But in that situation, I feel like we came together as one. Even though it was a lot of mess and discord. And they looking, so the last man that they called was the man that had the chair. That's another thing. So it was a man with a white chair. And everybody's going crazy because he started bopping people over the head with the chair. And I heard one person say that he was bopping people over the head for the ancestors. I just feel like it was just crazy because I don't know why it made Black people so excited. I think it was more of the camaraderie that we had, because sometimes we just don't have that. We don't have a camaraderie. So D Scorpio said he threw that hat up like the bat signal. Right. It was so, oh my goodness. It just flowed like that. It was no stopping. It was no like nobody thinking, nobody, it was just more of, we see something happening to somebody, people stepped in and saved the day. Because usually what we see, even though we did have somebody recording, and she was funny too, the lady that was recording, but we usually have somebody recording the incident and nobody stepping in to, help. Just like, and I understand why a lot of people didn't, jump in when, what's his name? They was very well organized, Dia. Because when George Foreman happened, I'm sorry, I'm just that type of person. If George Foreman happened, I would have kind of had a little, kind of jerk, like, y'all need to get off of him. Like, even though I might have been arrested too, but I would have been like, y'all need to get off of him. Like, why are y'all on his neck like that? But I know people try to stay out of the police way, but sometimes there's certain things that they do. You be like, what is going on? But I understand it's the police. I get that. That's why Krista be like, yo, calm down. That's the police. And no, people ain't trying. So the best thing you can do sometimes is just film the incident. But it's a lot of incidents that happen that people just take out their phone and they just stand by and watch. So I just was like, that was the big thing about that. So I'm like looking, I'm ready to see what they're going to do, what type of fines or what type of sentences they're going to give to the people that interacted in this situation. Because they said what happened was that, Trump was there this weekend, and this is what Ricky Smiley said. Ricky Smiley said when Trump comes, some of the we people start, acting out of pocket. They be feeling themselves, Trump get them all gassed up and they start feeling themselves. So that's why that situation happened. But guess what? You're going to learn today. They learned that day that, you know what? Don't let Trump lead you down the long, dirty path, because that's what he be doing. He be leading y'all down that path just like he led y'all down to the Capitol, allegedly. He led y'all allegedly down to that Capitol, and y'all allegedly did some things because of what y'all allegedly heard. But baby, y'all allegedly got arrested. Let's see what it's, D Scorpio said, after all the situation we have been through these last couple of years, our people have had enough. I'm proud of them for coming together. Love my blackness. Yeah, that really made me like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Put my fist up, about to put my black jacket on, you know what I'm saying? With my black tights and Black Panther, you feel me? But that was a great situation. That was great. I'm just going to be honest. I really liked it. We don't got Krista doing a thing. I don't know where Krista is. She said she was coming in, but she taking her time, baby. I'm going to go on to the next thing.
And somehow, because it's said on a very large platform, and now it's reaching people who may have never heard this turn of phrase, it's turned into something that requires an apology. Y'all got to stop this war on nuance. Y'all got to stop this war on context. And it's not actually helping anything. Nobody was saved. Nobody learned a lesson. There was nothing positive to be gained by this exchange, by this controversy. But it's cool. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna.
So let's get into this. So Jamie Foxx goes online he puts up a post. The post says, basically, you know what your grandma always told you, what told us. I guess they never heard this because they said it was anti-Semitic. But they said the guest is in the green room, but I don't see the guest. You in there? You must be in the car. Let me get her out the green room. Let me sign. Welcome, lady.
Dark.
It's dark
Hey,
in
how
there.
you doing? It is dark. I am
Oh.
so glad to see you.
I'm so glad you can show up when you want to.
Okay, ain't God good? It's
He
all right.
is so good. You out there making
Yeah.
moves, huh? We see that smile though.
See
I know
that-
we
you
see that smile.
I
Oh.
see y'all see this smile.
Yes, we see Mr. Frank. Everybody on the show tonight. We got Mr. Frank on the show. Y'all say hi to Mr.
I
Frank.
know.
And Miss Shirley.
Hey. Yes. We traveling on the way back to the house. How you doing?
We doing good. We was just sitting here talking about Jamie Foxx and how he said about the Jesus being your only friend.
Oh my
That what
goodness.
they did to Jesus. They killed Jesus. What you think they'll do to you? Fake
Okay.
friends.
Listen, you can't get, I mean, he has freedom of speech. That's my whole thing. He has freedom of speech and he has the opportunity to say what he want to say. I just think that people need to focus on just simply allowing people to voice their opinion. That is your option. That is your choice. You do have a right to do so. But it's like we vilify people when they give their opinion. And I just think sometimes we just go too far with it sometimes. So.
We do go too far. Dia says she love your family. They my family
Yes.
too. That's what she said.
Yes.
But with that situation, I was just taken back because they were saying that it was anti-Semitic.
Right, like how did it get that far by that statement?
I don't
Who is he
understand.
really causing infraction on? What people? What origin? Like who is he really causing infraction on to make that statement?
I was really taken back because my thing is, I've heard that my whole life. Remember I told you there's not a friend, my grandma used to say there's not a friend like the lonely Jesus.
The
Like
lonely
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
Because even his friends, he had a whole crew. It was 12 of them.
Right.
Okay? And one of them came to him and kissed him on the cheek.
Kiss
Okay?
them now.
Kissed him on the cheek.
saying.
Showed him love now. He showed him love. But it
He
was to
did.
show the people, hey, this is Jesus right here. Come get him.
Yes. Don't get. I'm
Then
just
you
saying,
had
so
Peter, who act like he ain't even know him when they asked him. So, I mean, that's what...
it's a lot. It's a lot to consider, but I think that sometimes we totally take it too far. Sometimes we just do not give people the right to the first amendment. They don't have a right of freedom of speech anymore because
They don't.
everybody is hypersensitive. And I don't know what do you do when people are hypersensitive about everything. Like you can't say people are beautiful no more. They think it's harassment. If you say somebody like it's a lot that has been changed in our world today. So what do you do with that, Tip? Like what do you do when you
I
simply
mean,
voice your opinion?
what can you
People
do?
vilify you for it.
Sometimes what you supposed to be quiet, not say
I
nothing
don't
at
know. I
all?
just don't think. I think we wouldn't have the world that we have where people have opinions and considerations because simply the fact that people really, really are afraid to express themselves because they're worried that somebody may look at it in a way that is really causing infraction on their life. But I have seen where people have literally gotten in trouble for calling somebody beautiful. Like they have been, put into positions that it's just absolutely. I just think we're hypersensitive and we need to really go back to the point where we do have a sense of freedom, but there's a level of respect with it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, things or believe in certain views, and when it doesn't align with you, that does not make them anti-Semitic. Like I just don't believe that. So that's a matter of opinion and how people see it.
Well, Dia said they said it was against the Jewish community. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, Dia. How was it against the Jewish community? Because what he's
Did he
talking
say something
about...
specific?
Because what he's
Jewish
talking about is
community.
a
Did he say
friendship.
Jewish? Did he say Jewish?
No, he did say Jewish, but Jesus was Jewish, right? Wasn't Judas Jewish?
Correct.
So
So
were
it's a
they
lot.
offended?
It's a lot. I think that's a lot to discuss. Like it's a lot
But
to
I'm just
think about
saying,
when
why?
it
But
comes to that.
where was the offensive part came in? Because they said no lie. His friends did kill him. I'm just trying to understand.
Sometimes, I mean, people don't understand the impact that friends have on their lives, and I think that people, it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's a
It
true
is.
relationship, and people really, really have to consider the fact that it is a relationship that you're building, and that you're building upon like your spouse, your partner, whatever. That is the same thing. But we try to categorize it in certain levels, but it's really a friendship will really make or break you sometimes.
But
So.
let me let y'all think for a second.
Mhm.
Okay, look at who we talking about. This is my conspiracy type thoughts.
Oh, here
Look
she
who
go,
we talking
y'all. Here
about.
she go.
Listen. No, listen, because I don't think that clone stuff. I'm not thinking that. But look who we talking about. Jamie Foxx, right? He just went through a whole medical ordeal, correct?
He
Right?
did.
He went through a whole medical ordeal. Then the information that we was given was kind of like spotty, correct? It was spotty information.
Right.
Okay, so this is where my thought is going. Were
Right.
you saying this as a exhale? You know how somebody's really trying to do harm to you, and you're saying it as a clue, okay? Fake friends, like the person who after me is somebody who close to me. Basically, this is what you're saying. The person who's after me is somebody close to me. But in order to cover up what is going on, you shout out anti-Semitic, and now we're not talking about the clue that he gave us. We're talking about how is that possible? You know what I'm saying? How? It doesn't make any sense. But remember before this, we did a whole nother show where we talked about how he got that money almost taken away from him,
Correct.
$50,000. So
But
now
I
you
think
got
it's
money
again,
missing.
it's a lot of layers to this. I'm sorry. It's a lot of layers. I'm not sure what all this. There's a lot that is just not clear. I'm going to say that. And at the end of the day, I think we will really never know the full circumference of
We
everything that's
won't.
happening. We won't. So I just don't know why our focus has shifted on what he's talking about now. But at the end of the day, what do you do with that? Like, it's opinion, it's his thoughts, so that does not make him anti-Semitic. I just really don't believe that is the case.
Um, D Scorpio said, I'm tired of everyone's opinions on other people's lives.
Baby, you said a
And then,
word, D Scorpio. Shout out to D Scorpio, because everybody has their own special formula of how they think your life should be, how they when they see you, they have
right.
their own opinion. You're constantly being judged all day long. It's just like your job. It's like a performance review. You are being
It
reviewed
is.
for
It
who
is.
you are. And at the end of the day, somebody not gonna like it. You may feel like you are giving the best service in the world, and somebody may have a problem with it. So again, everything is really matter of opinion. It's matter of, and it's so sad that people have a lot of power in that sense, especially from a professional standpoint. That's huge. So I think we just all should try our best to just be our best and stay in your house, honey. Why don't you worry
You
about
want
what
people to
people
stay in
think?
their house?
I want people
Tashonda
to
said,
stay in
I
their
agree.
house.
People start to view the world differently during these tough times. You do.
Yes, you do.
Especially when
It
you
is
go
hard to
through
see.
something. You start
Oh
looking
yes.
at people. You start looking at people around you. And it's so crazy. When you go through something, that close person that you want to be there, if they not there and they're acting kind of weird and they doing crazy things, you be like, wait a minute now, that's not how you supposed to be acting.
Correct.
Why why is you worried about that over
But
there?
you know what we honestly do? We honestly
What?
think in our own minds that the person, the people are supposed to act and do the things that we would do as a person if
That's
we were
true.
caring for somebody. So
But
in your mind,
that's
you
how you
have a
pick friends sometimes though.
ideology. Yeah, but we all have an ideology of how we think people should treat us and what they should say to us. But in all actuality, everybody was raised different. Unless y'all in the same household, even in the same
Even the
household,
same
you have your
household, you
own
still had
perception.
different experiences.
You have your own perception of your experience in that household. So I just really think people need to stay in their house, honey, and mind the business that pays them. Amen.
Yes, D Scorpio said this was just becoming way too sensitive over anything.
Over
Right.
anything.
And
Come
you
on,
know
D
what, D
Scorpio.
Scorpio, that leads to the next story. Because I
Come
think
on,
that's what
girl.
all this is right here. This story right here, I think it's number sensitivity.
Let's
But
go.
To touch a performer, yes. Was I brought into a private meeting where I was kind of interrogated about my personal matters and ended up having to share very personal things about myself regarding my weight? Yes. Were we pressured to do an excruciatingly long rehearsal that turned into a re-audition for the job that we already booked? Because apparently we weren't doing good enough. Yes, that is true. Did I unfortunately go to the bathroom on myself on one stage because I was so terrified? Yes.
You allege that Lizzo intended to hit you at one point after you resigned. Do you really think that she was going to resort or could
Yes.
resort to physical violence?
She actually balled up her fist like this to me. She started cracking her knuckles, and she was like, "You're so effing lucky that basically I'm not gonna hit you." Her best friend, who's also one of the dancers, had to jump out of the couch and physically hold her back from coming and hitting me. So yes, I do believe that if she wasn't held back by that dancer, she would have hit me.
This morning, Lizzo responded to the lawsuit on Instagram, writing, in part, "These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards."
Ooh, Lord. Ooh, Lord. That was a
so
lot.
what you think about that?
Lizzo. Listen. Lizzo, do you think Lizzo really is serving it to people? Now,
Let me tell you something. I don't know nobody.
come on, tell me.
I don't know nobody, so I'm not gonna sit here and say she was mean to them people. But what took me aback, and I start to question them young ladies, is when they said that first of all, Lizzo let go of those people, and you see, she said they was unprofessional, and she said I forgot what else. She said so she had did this. Now all of a sudden y'all have a lawsuit, but I didn't know fat people couldn't call other people fat.
Shut up, girl. You finna start
I'm just
something.
trying to understand that.
So, I'm lost on that.
Because I'm going
I
to have
need
a
somebody to
lawsuit
tell
in a
me
minute.
How that go? Because, listen, because you done made 20 lawsuits by now.
Okay, because
Like,
I'm going to
seriously,
tell somebody
like,
they big. Ooh,
so
girl, you
I can
big.
see,
Don't
I
take
can
that
see
off.
the mean girl. You know what? Honestly, Tip, I can see the mean girl. I can see that. I can see the cocky. I can see that. This young lady be naked. She is very cocky, and her presence with her who she is, that gives her a whole nother level of confidence. Especially when people actually give her praise for what she's doing and being, representing the BBWs, representing in a way that
Right.
is not what you would typically see from somebody that is a plus size woman. So at the end of the
Exactly.
day, I commend her for that part, but I can also see that she could be a mean girl because she's so accepted for who she is. I can see her snapping out. I can see that. But don't we all got
But
a little bit of that in us?
yes, but see, some things can be taken as you being mean if you're trying to encourage somebody to accept who they are. Now, there was one
Correct.
part, like if I'm with another big girl and I'm like, girl, you big. Like all I'm saying is
Lady, you big.
yeah, and I'm telling you, you big, so you can accept who you are. Cause if you can't accept who you are, you're not gonna be able
But
to lose
guess
weight.
what, Tip? Guess what? People can be offended by that. Absolutely
They can be
offended by the
offended,
fact.
but if you don't know that you're big, how do you not? You won't know that you need to lose weight because losing weight would just be something that you need to do if
But
somebody
some
can
women are
come up to
very
you and say you're
comfortable
big.
where they are, and I think that's okay.
I
But
understand that,
my problem
but how
lies
you
in the fact
comfortable if
that
somebody can't call you big? Is you really comfortable?
uh, But
Is
guess
you
what? That
really
can be
comfortable?
offensive. If I walked up to my friend and said, "Girl, you big, girl," that
I'm
would be
like, well, girl,
offensive.
and
But that's when you have reached the level of identity where you just don't care about
I'm
how people view
comfortable.
you. Yes. But again, that can be offensive. I get that. I can see that Lizzo, and this is alleged, I can see that Lizzo has a strong personality. So I can see how that could be taken in a way that may cause infraction on people. But she can't be bullying people in the street. She can't be like, oh, I'm going to ball my fist up and fight. But
Lizzo,
guess
stop
what?
calling them
Listen,
girls
I don't care
fat.
how much money you got, baby. If you from that dirt, honey, and just be like, listen, I'm going to throw these hands if you don't do this right. Like they left, they quit, or whatever, resigned, or whatever the case may be. Guess what? Something made them do it. You on stage with Lizzo. Something
Right.
made you leave. And
Let
I'm
me go
not
to D
saying those girls
Scorpion.
did not feel impartial. We're not saying anything of that nature. I can understand that these are alleged situations, but they may feel that they were direct. I totally get the lawsuits of concern. However, I don't get where we are not given an opportunity for Lizzo to play her part and state her claim and then go from there. Cause that's why she
Right.
spoke out. You know what I'm saying? Like you defaming me in a whole different level or
Right.
way, and she
That's why I'm like, who she
do.
made
So
mad? But D Scorpio said it's a job, every job. Like every job, you're on probation. You could be terminated if you're not fulfilling the job requirements. He said, I'm just saying.
correct.
That's true. Jamie
I'm just
said they're coming
saying
off
that's
like
bad.
bitter ex-employees.
Y'all, but if she did anything harassing to them, if she actually put her hands on them, uh, again, everybody knows, like Tina Turner back in the day, she didn't play by her dancers. She was quick. She made them. She fired them every other week if they wasn't doing what she wanted them
What
to
she
do.
want to
So
do. And
you,
that's another thing
she
I was going to
chopped them
say.
up. She called them.
You're right.
Listen, she couldn't keep
Come
no
with
dancers
it.
because she was so direct. So I mean, this is where we have sensitivity, but I can't take away their feelings. So I'm not taking away the young lady's feelings. Again, all this is alleged, but I just think when you're performing, of course, it's one of those situations where it's very hard. It's one of those situations where it is very, very hard to kind of predict. So
Tashonda said, don't sign up for body positivity movement if the confidence level is fake. Amen.
baby,
Tashonda,
amen.
that was
Come on,
beautiful.
Tashonda,
That
amen.
was a word.
That's a word. That's
That
a
was a
word.
word.
But shout out. We hope Lizzo get through this. We're gonna see how
Yes,
that
get through
unfolds,
it,
baby.
girl. Now let me put this tidbit in y'all ear and drop it in y'all spirit. It was a director that was supposed to direct the TV show that she did on Amazon. But she said she dropped out of doing it because of the way Lizzo was. She said she's very
Baby.
harsh. She said she talks to people, and she said, she's directing the movie. And directors, they like, I run the show.
It's what they say. I run the show.
Right. So they had like a conflict, but she said she didn't make a big deal out of it, or she wasn't trying to sue her. But she said she just did not care for how she spoke to people. So I was like,
Right.
oh.
But a lot of
So
people has this thing where they have an arrogance in their voice, like they have a
you have
condescending
that.
tone. And sometimes we have.
When
I
Crystal
don't.
is homecoming time, Crystal,
Oh
she is
God.
talking real harsh. And I had to get with her. Like, who you
Mm-hmm.
talking to? Just tell
But
me
no,
what to
that
do.
is
You
no.
don't
But
got to
see,
say all
people
that.
fail to realize that's when you're a director and you're over a group of 10 or more. You have to
Right.
have a position of, I'm not belittling, I'm not anything, but I have urgency in my voice.
No, you don't
So if
believe,
we
you
have
don't
a
call us
time, of
fat or
course I'm
nothing.
gonna have I'm gonna have nope, I'm not calling nobody out their name, but what you gonna do if you're a part of this is give your best.
Get your fat
And if I
self
gotta
up
help
and
you be if
pick
I
up
gotta
that
be
thing.
the listen,
It's
if I have to
homecoming
be the
weekend.
drill sergeant, so be it. So be it. I'm doing the job and the job gets done. That's all I
I
got to
feel
say
you.
about
Yeah,
that.
I know. Okay, we're gonna go to this right here. This what you
What you got?
little thing we picked out.
Let's see it.
One thing I wish I knew before I cut my mom off, hear me out, sis, okay? The amount of times you're gonna hear somebody say you only get one mom. I only get one life. My life is more important than my relationship with someone that's a narcissist. My life is more important than my relationship with someone that gave life to me, but made me regret even being alive most of my life. So when you tell somebody that's been through trauma, you only get one mom, you're basically gaslighting their experience because you've totally looked past what that one mama did.
Ooh.
I just
My.
didn't.
How do you feel about that, Tiffany?
I was
What are
confused.
your thoughts tonight about
I
that?
was confused because I was like, she cut her mama off. I'm one of them people. I guess I'm a gaslighter because I'm always say you only got one mama. But if
One
they,
mama.
if it's
So
a
what do you feel
traumatic,
about that, the Butcher Queen crew? Like, what do you do?
if it's a traumatic experience, I do feel like you need to disassociate yourself with, people. You do have to disassociate yourself with people.
But would you ever disassociate yourself from your mother? That's your mother. She brought you
Um,
here.
my mom who brought me here. Okay, so when my mom put me
Yes.
out the house, I
Mm-hmm.
disassociated with her. I didn't call her as much. I did take time out
Because,
to see
and
her.
exactly, but that was because of what you were traumatized. You were affected by the actions that were
Yeah,
exuded
I
by
was
a
affected by the
parental.
actions.
Just so
Yeah, I
happened you
was.
would have never. And I really think people don't get it. It's like people don't
But
understand that
she,
parents, especially if you look at them in a certain light and or a certain way, it can totally, totally be challenging for you to see and understand the effects that they may have on you or the remnants they may have on you because of certain actions. So, what do you do with that?
if my thing is, it's your mama. I just feel like that you should have some type of backup. You have to have some type of backup in your life, and that's with anything you do. If somebody's being toxic, if they're bringing you down, but I feel like you should be able to deal with it in a certain manner, and that's with anybody. I'm talking about relationship wise, because you might have a toxic child, but you have to learn how to off and on. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, you have to learn how to back up,
Right. It's a
and then
filtration.
you have to learn how to
I
balance. I guess
understand.
balance.
Causing you to have feel traumatized. They did something to you. They caused all kinds of issues with you. What do you do with that? Do you automatically say that because people say you have only one mind? That young lady seems as though she experienced a very traumatic childhood. So then, if she's had a very traumatic childhood, is she right in saying what she's saying, or should she still maintain a certain respect
I
level
feel like
because
she right
she
saying what she's
wouldn't be
saying.
here
If that's how
without
she
her
have to
mother?
handle it. Jamie said, if it costs me peace, I would disassociate. I don't give a fuck. Who are you? Tashana said, I feel like there's always a way to love from a distance. Boundaries are important, even if it's your parent or child. Dia said, the relationship a person has with their mother tells a lot about a person. D Scorpio, I had to put a limit on things with my parents. Yeah. I feel like it needs to be. Look at, if Gary Coleman would have put a limit on his parents, he would be alive today. You freezing. You're freezing, Crystal. I don't know what Crystal's gonna say, but that's how I feel. I feel like you back. You moving.
I'm
Hold
back.
on.
Everybody
Okay.
is here.
You're in and out.
You got
So
me.
you're
I'm
not.
back.
You're in
Everybody's
and out.
experience is different. I can't take away the girl's feelings, but again, I want her to consider. Mhm.
I
I
didn't
want
hear you.
certain things to be considered. That's all I'm saying.
What do you want to be
I said
considered
things
though?
be considered. That's all.
I need you to fix your
I want
thing.
people to consider the emotions and feelings that.
Of who? The mother? You muted yourself.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Now I can't. It's like you was going in and out.
You know, I'm in the country, so.
You ain't in the country. You in
Well, I
Columbus.
apologize. It's because of the, the area. So that's the country. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that we have to consider the feelings of other people. And we just have to respect that feeling, even if we don't agree with it. That is what we need to do in the world. That's just my opinion. But
So we need to respect the parents' feeling.
take the time out. No, the child's feeling. You need to respect her feelings, but also help encourage her to not separate in a way that can cause where, you're totally disassociated with the person that brought you.
Oh no. I think it's some people, some parents. I know that parents are not giving. Yeah, I always say this: people are not given a book on how to be a parent. So it's something that you go through life and you wean based off of how you were treated, based off of what you saw on TV, based off of just different things. So if your parent has given you a toxic environment, I just feel like you should create a deep boundary. Even with your child. It's like there's some kids out there that killed their parents. You think I'm gonna sit around and try to kumbaya with them again? No, ma'am. You go your way, I go mine. I feel like you got to use some type of wisdom in the situation. I feel like, yeah, God gives us wisdom. I don't know. I'm not about to kumbaya with somebody who's treated me bad. I'm not. I see you getting yourself situated. D. Scorpio says, sometimes I've noticed that some parents put past burdens on their children and don't realize how much it may affect them as they get older. That's correct. That is so correct. Like things that they went through as a child.
Hello?
Things that they went through. Yeah, I hear you. Now you muted yourself again. But it's some things that people go through and then they deflect it on their child. Like, this is what I went through. So blah, blah, blah. I watched the movie yesterday. It was called Therapy. It wasn't really good. It was on Tubi. But the mother was very mean and harsh to her child. And then she basically projected all this anger onto her child, which drove the girl, crazy. So you back and you look good and sound good.
Thank you.
You is finally back.
I'm finally back. Thank
Oh
you.
my
Thank you so much.
goodness.
Yes.
Go ahead. We already know.
All right. So it's a lot to consider. It's a lot to think about. I really think that people need to take the time out to hear out people's feelings and emotions. However, at the same time, we need to really, really, really understand that you do only have one mom. You only have one dad. And I'm not saying to accept any kind of experience. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the young lady wasn't traumatized. However, I am saying that you can still love from a distance. You can still pick up the phone. You can send a text message. They can send you a message. And if you feel that they're causing infraction, I think you should let the person know how they're affecting you. But ultimately, to cut them off, especially if you have them here, a lot of people wish they have their parents, their mothers, their guardian, whoever raised them. So why take that out of the fold? You can say hello just to see if they're alive and go on with your life. So even if you've been traumatized or affected by something, but this thing is one of those staple pieces in your life, you can easily try your best to still get through that situation.
Allow is real. So do you think do you feel like that a person needs that person in their life? If it be a child or if is it a need? Will they have a hole? Will something happen if they? But I feel like if that person leaves this earth, you will feel bad. I feel like they would. That's why
Right.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like people need to learn to heal. They need to communicate those feelings. They need to communicate those emotions. And once you do that, you've gotten it out of your body. It doesn't mean that that trauma or that situation is going to go away, but at least you've taken the time out to examine it, look at it for what it is. I didn't say if somebody hurt you or traumatized you, I didn't say go be their BFF. I'm not saying that. But the person that brought you here, if they're still here, you can simply say hello, and if that hello is going to cause so much infraction on your mind, thoughts, miss with, cause you anxiety, that's different versus a situation where you're just saying, I'm not talking to my mom because she did ABC. And no, we need to get in the sense where we can immediately express, how we feel if we can. In some situations, you won't get the closure ever. So if that's a situation like that, then of course you don't want anything to impose infraction on your life. But if there's room to forgive, so you can move on with your life, because I feel like she hasn't moved on. She hasn't moved on. She's traumatized so much so that she has not taken the time out to express it in the way she could. Do you think she did? Do you think she really has expressed? Because what people do is what she does. They remove them. Like with friendships, like they remove them. They don't take the time out to talk, go through it, examine it. They don't do that. They just say bye. Now, I'm not saying some situations you shouldn't let go, but every time.
and that brings me to the next and last topic.
Yes.
What you just said, that was like a good lead up. Because we were talking about this the other day, and it was about being a friend. Like some relationships that we're in, you're actually in a relationship with your friend, and there's nothing wrong with being a friend, but it's nothing more than that. So how do you realize that, you know what? Because everybody say, oh, this is my best friend, this is my best friend, okay? Everybody relationship, but there are relationships out there, it's like y'all better off as friends or relationship, because some people are like, so they're toxic as a couple, but as friends, it's just like they should have never crossed that line.
Do you feel like that? Okay, so this is
So
my
how do
issue
you
with
how
that.
do you decipher that?
Tiffany, my issue with that is this. For one thing, I think relationships should be friendships.
I
They
think so
should be.
too.
I think they can commingle. I don't understand why people don't think they can, but people think when they get in a relationship that they automatically have to be this stonewall type of situation where you don't take the time out or take the time out to really consider and understand that you can still be that person's friend. There are some boundaries that are crossed beyond friendships, okay? But
Yeah.
that friendship still stands. So why, when you get in a relationship, it changes? What happened? It's like
No,
when you
but
get married, what happens?
my thing is this. This is my thing. This is what I'm saying far as that. So listen, I'm gonna give a past example. I was in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And it was pure toxicity. Okay? We were fighting, we was hollering, you know what I'm saying, throwing stuff, different things like that. But far as like our friendship, like talking to each other about something, we could just sit there and talk long as it had nothing to do with a relationship thing, about sharing money, any relationship topics. It was out of here. But we talking about somebody on the street we see, or we talking about something that's on TV. I mean, we
It's
good
perfect.
to go.
Good to go.
Perfect.
Good to go.
But then
Right.
when you start talking about, oh, was you looking at that person over there? You're like, no, I wasn't looking at them. And they, blah, blah, blah. It was like they
But
super
answer
jealous.
this for me. But answer this for me. Why does the dynamic change? What is because you labeled it? Like I feel
I
like
think it was I feel like for them, that's what it was. Because they had these different rules and regulations. So the person that you was before, even though you changed a little bit when you're in a relationship,
you
but
changed
it's
a
like
lot
they
of
didn't
things.
accept they didn't accept certain things, and I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't doing nothing different than what I was doing before. But it was like they was more jealous.
So are you saying that the demographics changed? Like they had
Yes, it
different
was like they had
expectations?
insecurities, a lot of insecurities. Okay, um, what other not trusting? Like, okay, before, you know, oh, I'm about to go hang with my homegirl.
Right.
It was okay. But now that we're in a relationship, it's, oh my goodness, where are you going? What time are you going to be back? And blah, blah, blah.
But there is a different expectation. There's different things that you have to follow when you make
But
it a
if I was
relationship.
respectable before, what makes it different now?
I have no earthly idea. I'm so sorry that
I'm
happened.
telling you, some people get in a relationship and they change.
Okay, so
Baby.
why is that? Why do you feel like people
I feel like
automatically?
it's a lot. Some majority of it be insecurities, or if a person got cheated on, it be that type of thing.
But why? My issue
Because
is the why.
they bag ladies and men.
So why? This is my issue. A lot of people do not unpack what they dealt with in past relationships. So what they do then is transfer that energy over to a quality relationship, and they don't even get the full experience of what they can have with the new person because they have a whole concept. They have a
Yeah,
whole
concept of
notion
things.
of things, and that is so harmful. It does not help
And
relationships.
that's where the toxicity comes. Jamie said, are the expectations lessened when it's just a friendship versus a relationship? Asking because I never been in a relationship.
So silly. James, the expectations are what they are. I understand the respect levels, but you gotta understand that was your friend. You kind of, especially if you were in a place where you could really establish that this was a friendship. That is one of the most pivotal pieces because guess what? If that's your friend and you have clarified and actually distinguished them as your friend, then you know your friend. You know the ins and outs of your friend. Now, I think there is a harmful piece in that because you done share stories, you done share all of these different things. So then I can understand sometimes when you do choose to get in a relationship and that was your friend at first, before y'all actually crossed or went into that direction, some things can be questioned, baby. Because when I know your whole story, we've been friends, we've been kiki kind about how you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we decide to cross the line over here and start a relationship, baby. You think I ain't gonna remember that you was with Paul and Silas and all the rest of them too? I'm gonna remember that. So I don't
Paul and
knock a
Silas.
person. I don't knock the person for having those thoughts, but what is unfair is that you knew that from the onset. See, that's the pleasure,
Right.
that's the positive of knowing your friend and then deciding to go there. You know the ins and outs of your friend. So now all of a sudden your friend gonna do you wrong. When they
Right.
become your partner or your spouse or whatever you choose to be with them today.
But I feel like that's what keep us, our friendship. That's what keep us because we're able to talk. We're able to communicate. That's the friendship part that you want in a relationship.
Right.
But like you said, it's that other part of the friendship where you know so much, and then this person start doing things that you know they talked about, and you be
Baby.
like, "Wait a minute, you about to play me?"
But listen, you gotta learn to see. You gotta give people an A in your class. People,
Yeah, you do.
give them an A in their class until they do something to make that A change.
But if they not doing nothing wrong, why feel any type of way?
Baby, it's real out here in the field, honey. But when you know all that tea about your friend,
Yeah.
baby, that is harmful sometimes. And I can understand because guess what? When you kiki car with your friend, baby,
Yeah.
you telling them everything. And then you decide to cross that line, guess what? They know all about you. So
They
they're gonna be
know
like,
about
wait
you.
a minute. Is you gonna play me too? Is you gonna date this? Is you gonna go holler? See, that's why I think that's where communication comes. You got to talk to the people and explain when we get in a relationship and we were friends before, let's keep our friendship, but we're gonna have it on this type of respect level. Now, I
Right.
think that's all about communication. So I don't think
It
it's
is.
anything
It
else.
is. But I feel like anything, even if y'all weren't friends before, what keeps you going is communication. And sometimes when you have communicated and you have exhausted everything and you have said over and over and over again, as Crystal would say, I have said it over and over again.
Oh, I hate
and you're
repeating
still,
myself.
I'm still getting the same outcome, then yes, you do need to let it go. You do need to let it go.
I think people need to start building healthy relationships. And that's just not being with somebody. That's just friendships, period. Because your friendships have a major impact on your life. They become a part of you. So I think you should still communicate with your friends. Tell them how you feel. Don't hold that stuff in. And that's just like the girl going back to the last story. Like, tell these people how you
She
feel.
need to go
And
talk
if
to
they
her
not with
mama
it, if
and
they not
tell
with
her,
it, listen, call
lady,
them
you
and tell them.
toxic.
And at least you got it out your body.
Right.
That's all
That's
I'm
true.
saying. Get it out your body, people. Stop holding that stuff in, because you cannot really have a full-fledged healthy life, Tiffany, if you holding in or holding in what somebody did 7 years ago.
Oh,
You
you know, I don't
understand?
hold nothing in, baby. I let it go.
No, sis, you gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I'm saying. Let it go.
All right. Well, we at the end of the show. I'm glad you showed up.
Glad I was able to show up. Remember to like and comment and subscribe to the Butch
Yeah,
and
because I ain't
Queen
even say that. You know,
podcast.
I don't say that.
Remember to tell a friend, tell somebody else about the Butch and Queen podcast. We
Yeah, I
are so
had
grateful you
somebody
guys
over
doing
here.
all
I was
with us
going to put
tonight.
them on the show, but all they want to talk about is Tory Lanez. I couldn't go through my stuff.
Listen.
But
Yeah,
y'all pray for
no.
Tory Lanez because they gave him
No
10
Tory-
years. And
They
yes,
gave
10.
him
10 years. That's why I don't want to talk about it. They done gave it. All right, y'all. I got to go because she running in here to talk about Tory
Let
Lanez.
me talk. Let me talk.
We're going to have to do a whole nother show for
No,
that.
I just want 3 minutes of this.
That's gonna have to be
Okay,
a
she want to talk
special
about
edition
Tory
show.
Lanez. I'm gonna let my best friend talk about Tory Lanez. You gotta hurry up because it's time for us to get off. Okay. She want, you know, she been talking about Tory Lanez for 3 years,
Butch and
y'all.
Queen after dark.
Let me let them know.
Oh, here she go.
Butch and Queen after dark. But yes, we love you guys. We appreciate you. Please, 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 again, tell a friend about the Butch and Queen podcast. Tory Lane, we praying for you. Jamie Foxx, we doing all of that. But baby, it's
Oh, they
really
said they're not praying for Jamie Foxx. They said let them white women he date pray for him.
Listen, bye.
That's what they said.
Goodbye.
Is Jamie in here?
Yeah, James in
Oh,
here.
Jamie in here? Hey, Crystal. And
Hey, how
Jamie,
you
let me
doing?
tell you one thing, baby. Yes, I know my friend was on that. And baby, if you know me for a long time, Jamie, you would know that I've been filing cases since Facebook days, and I've been off of Facebook since 10 years, baby. So let me tell you about it. It was no evidence on Tory. The fragments was lost. Okay, so y'all okay with sending a black man to jail?
Jamie said, "Child, she on live."
Who on live?
You.
I'm not on live.
No, me. I'm on live.
I know I'm talking to Tory. I'm talking to him.
Go
But
ahead.
Tory
came
Lane,
on
he got. So y'all telling me he got 10 years?
He got
He has
10 years.
No evidence. And also, the judge was at Beyonce. I know some of y'all are so fanned out, so y'all won't understand. He was at Rock Nation brunch. The judge has a picture. Yes, the judge has a picture.
He was there.
He was at. Jamie, let me tell you.
Oh my God, Jamie.
Let me tell you something, baby. One thing I don't do is I don't laugh at nobody.
Jamie.
Baby, let me
That's
tell you something. When
horrible.
you laugh at
But
people's pain, baby, it comes.
Honestly, I didn't think he would get that much time.
I didn't think he was gonna get
I
that
knew-
either.
I felt like they were gonna-
I don't think he deserved enough, but 10 years, baby, let me tell you something.
That's
They
too
working.
much.
They're working. Let me tell you something. 21 Savage, guess who got him out? Jay-Z. Meek Mill, guess who got him out? Jay-Z. Guess what? Guess who else on Rock Nation and thing?
These are all alleged conspiracy theories
Oh no,
that
this
she's
is not.
talking about.
This is true.
This is
I know you're
outrageous.
talking about True
No,
Tea,
no, no,
but
this
I'm
is
talking
true.
about her thing.
No, no,
You
no.
still gotta say it.
No.
Tasha K.
Okay, well, no. This is not allegedly my thing. Disregard. I'm just coming in on a podcast. But yes. So, Lil Uzi
Jamie said he's
put
not
a gun,
laughing.
He put a gun to Britney's stomach
Oh yeah, he didn't get.
And guess what? He didn't get no time.
He didn't get no time.
And guess what label he's on?
Rock Nation.
Rock Nation. So y'all
It's a
come
lie.
here laughing at nobody.
No,
being
I cannot believe he got 10 years, y'all.
I can't believe it.
Because when you look at, a lot of people like to be intelligent and use all these words and stuff like that, but y'all never read the evidence. Y'all just read blogs and y'all be so fanned out that y'all don't even listen and look at the evidence.
I read the evidence.
You gotta read the transcripts and read what happened and see what they say. Megan lied to y'all in that blue house. Do y'all remember? I was shot in 2 things. I was shot in both of my legs. 2 of my legs. I don't have to lie on number. I don't lie. Girl,
And
King,
she was sitting
did
there
you see
telling
the
a
turn
whole
names?
tale. I just
Did you
really
see
think
the
that
turn
this is
names?
going to totally
Sexually?
affect Megan's career.
No.
I
It
really
has
think
affected her career.
I think it's already affected it, but
It's
now
already
that they
affecting
have
her career.
presented,
But that's. I feel
think
like that's a little bit of karma right there.
Yeah, it has affected her career, but also you have to realize that we not taking that no more. Like, we believe that it's like giving another Carly situation. And I just feel like Megan, she's a liar. Like, she lied about who did her makeup and the girl did her makeup.
I don't get it. I think it kind of went too far. I think Megan had a major role in it, but there's also other people that had a role in it. And I don't think all of the blame should have been on Tori at
They
all.
wasn't trying to give him, Jamie, see, you don't even read. See, that's what what we not going to do. They was trying to give him 13. They gave him 10. Don't try with me, baby. Baby, I will read you out of the book.
Lord.
Baby, I will read you out of the book. They were trying to give him 13. The Max in California, they were trying to give him 13. They gave him 10.
Well, she said she going off of Facebook.
Who?
You said that just a
No,
minute
I know.
ago.
I'm saying that I used to be on Facebook doing trials. People
No, I
normally-
said you said you was going offline and she moving to the country because
Oh,
she
yeah.
tired of
Oh,
America.
yeah. Oh, no. What I'm saying is I'm so glad that I have the same friends that I've been friends with this all these years. Me, Shorty, and the friends I'm not friends with, I'm okay with that in life. Because the friends that I don't take it, and sometimes you can't take everybody with you. Baby, I'm always to a farm.
Baby.
I can read it. Baby, so if you reading Jamie.
Oh,
Jamie,
do not see. I'm about to tell her to read the comments.
No, okay, Jamie, if you can read, you would know that Tory Lanez doesn't have a record. If you read, you would know that Tory Lanez has never been on probation. Hold on. Let me.
So what they gonna do far as because you know he from Toronto.
Well, what they gonna do? He's gonna appeal it. It's not over. Don't ever think it's over.
No. He needs to appeal it over
He
and
needs
over
to
again.
appeal,
But
but
do you know that this boy? Let me tell you, he went on a Breakfast Club. It's more about this. It's business. It's more of the business dealing. Tory Lanez made $1 million off of one song. He went on a Breakfast Club and told these people to be independent. Oh, the social media is so powerful that you don't need nobody backing you.
Right.
This is how these people make this money. Y'all gotta think after this. Being a business owner, I understand it. Like, I think that Megan should pay James Carford. This man worked all his life. Like, you signed a contract. Your mama was your manager. You had a lawyer. Sign your contract. You gotta give what is due to you. Like, that man owe his money. Like, give me what's due to me. Business is business, but at the same time, I just feel like she's a liar.
Right.
And if y'all don't read evidence, y'all fanned out. Because if you wasn't fanned out, you would know
About what's going on.
y'all would know what's going on.
Yeah, I really think there's so many more layers to this. It's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. I think this is really gonna affect Megan's career in a special
But
way. Like,
I want people to realize, this is what I want people to realize, and we're going to end the show. Because Angela could talk all night about this. Because she's been talking about this for 3 years now.
Yes.
She followed this case for 3 years.
Yeah, because I
but
really
let me tell
want to
you,
be a lawyer, a doctor, not a doctor, a lawyer, a veterinarian, and a business owner. not
but
just a business
if you notice, they have not been tracking this case online.
No.
People don't talk about it like that. They talk about it, but it's not like that. And it's when it is height like this 10 years, watch it 3 days, it's going to die down. It's like his case go up and then it dies down. So I feel like people should watch how the media carries stuff. And I feel like
but I thought he made national news. They made national.
with that.
So AT was out there.
Yeah.
But do y'all realize that Megan music is not selling?
It's not.
Tory Lanez music is selling. Everybody, if y'all realize in the industry when something go on, they always have big names back them up. Who came out for Megan? Who came out supporting Megan? Y'all have to know that the industry knows something. TMZ first said it was a video came out. A lot of people got paid. Bitch, how I got 18 cameras in my front yard in Calabasas? What it is? All that.
Yeah, they don't got no video.
Don't have no video. Come on now.
And the lady walked down the street.
Yeah.
It's a video of the lady walking down the street, and all you hear is, "You're being recorded. You're being recorded." But we going.
Jamie, I like Tory Lanez. And to be honest, Jamie, I don't know Tory Lanez songs. I do know Megan Thee Stallion songs. But I don't know Tory Lanez. But I'm not really big on just believing what somebody say. So I'm always being an evidence queen. You're going to have to give me evidence. Just because you got red socks on, bitch, you have to show me that you got red socks on. I'm not going to do that. But people just like to fan out. And y'all, and people, I'm going to leave and say this because I'm going to get off y'all thing. But what I'm going to say.
You're okay. You speak your mind.
What I am going to say, because I want y'all to get y'all ads and stuff like that. I'm say, y'all around here saying free Thug. And Thug actually did a lot of those crimes.
Yes, he did.
Thug actually did a lot of those crimes.
He did.
Ain't no allegedly. He actually did a lot of those crimes.
He did, yes.
And y'all talking about free Thug, free Millie. Millie did a lot of the crimes, but Millie had a good lawyer.
He did.
Yeah.
And he was smart enough not to get no gunpowder on him, too.
Baby.
But I don't understand how he didn't have gunpowder, Tory didn't have gunpowder, but one person free and the other person got 10
and got
years.
immunity. But what I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave y'all with this, and I'm going to get up y'all podcast because my mouth can go all day.
Yes, 3 years.
Y'all around here talking about free y'all uncle.
Oh, Lord, she want to... You know what?
No. Y'all around here talking about free y'all uncle that's a pedophile. baby, y'all talking about free y'all uncle that's a pedophile. Hold on, let me say this. I'm gonna get off y'all line. I'm gonna get off y'all thing. Y'all talking about free y'all uncle that's a pedophile. Baby, let's be real. My uncle has been in jail for rape. You have never saw me say free my uncle, because let me tell you something, my mama has always told me you do the crime and do your time. And thank you for raising somebody like me. But a lot of y'all ain't gonna be to sleep at night because y'all just evil.
Oh my God. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, and free Tory Lanez and just free Tory Lanez is evil. And that's why Megan is the way she is now. She's a stick. I said she's a stick. Like she lost so much weight.
Oh, stress.
And Jamie, you can call me on the phone. We can discuss this.
Oh, Lord.
So after this podcast, you can call me, Jamie, because I'm a debater. I'm a Libra. We gonna go all day.
Oh, all night.
And
3 years.
I'm gonna read you the evidence, and I want you to say something because remember, Megan. If you want to talk about your past, Tory doesn't have a past. So we're not supposed to judge people when they was 18 and 20 years old. But Megan has the messed past.
Oh yeah, her past.
Megan has a tweet that said, "I'll slap the fuck out of her mama."
Oh my. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Are you ready? Let's get it. Drop the beat. It don't matter. Let's speak. Ooh, y'all sound good. Ooh, you don't grab that drink. It's the what? That's so cute. This one you twerk.